I've seen loads of videos online raving about eating 3 dates a day.
Well, what if I told you that eating just a few of them every day after you turn 50 could actually change how your body feels and works?
Dates aren't the same as regular sugar.
Top 10 health benefits of dates.
Let's see what dates do to my blood sugar.
If you eat 2 dates every day for 30 days, this is what happens to your body.
Eat 2 dates every day for a week. See what happens to your skin.
So I thought, why not do it? So what actually happens when you start eating 3 dates a day? I did this for about 3 months. Today I want to break down exactly what happens in your body when you start eating dates for over 30 days. The good, the not so good, and a few weird things you might not expect. I actually noticed 3 very specific things that happened to me, things that were a noticeable difference. So I want to tell you about that too. Real quick, before we move on, there's over half of you watching that are currently not subscribed. Next year is my 10-year anniversary on YouTube, and I would love to get this channel to 1 million subscribers. So if you can, and you enjoy the content, please click the subscribe button. I really appreciate it. So let's get into it. Dates are one of the oldest cultivated fruits on the planet, over 6,000 years old. Ancient civilizations used them as a symbol of life and energy. And today they're still a staple across the Middle East and North Africa. There are over 200 varieties, but the ones that you're usually going to see here in the States in stores are the Medjool dates. They're big, they're soft, and they're caramel-like. And the Deglet Noor, which are smaller and chewier. I personally like the Medjool. Nutritionally, a single Medjool date has around 65 calories, one of these guys, plus around 2 grams of fiber and a bunch of micronutrients like potassium, magnesium, iron, copper, and B vitamins. So yes, they're incredibly sweet, but they're also a real food packed with micro and macronutrients, minerals, and antioxidants. So what happens when you start eating them daily? During the first week, the things that you'll notice is probably a little energy boost. That's because dates are pretty much a perfect mix of glucose and fructose. It's quick energy for your muscles and your brain. If you're a runner or a cyclist, these can actually replace your gels or your energy bites. 3 dates before a run is going to give you 30 to 40 grams of carbohydrates. The bigger change comes from fiber. Dates are loaded with soluble fiber, which creates a gel and helps things move along inside of your gut. So your digestion after eating dates very consistently is going to get very efficient. You could go from irregular to clockwork within the first week. By week 2, the minerals are going to start doing their thing. The potassium, even more than a banana, helps regulate blood pressure and muscle contractions. Magnesium helps with recovery, cramps, and sleep. And the iron and copper help support red blood cells and oxygen delivery. So if you train hard, work out hard, sweat hard, dates are pretty much nature's electrolyte pack. You might notice fewer post-workout cramps, better hydration, and maybe even improved sleep. And because they're packed with antioxidants like flavonoids and phenolic acid, they start lowering oxidative stress, meaning less inflammation and maybe even slightly clearer complexion. Now, before we jump into week 3, I want to tell you about today's sponsor. You've seen me talking about Miracle Made sheets now for over a year now. It's the ad where I'm laying in bed talking about how great my sleep is. I always say if you're waking up too hot or too cold, I highly recommend you check out Miracle Made's bed sheets. Recently, I got a sleep tracker. I wear this thing every single night. I can not only now confidently tell you that I feel like I'm sleeping better, I am sleeping better on my Miracle Made bed sheets. I upped my sleep score just by swapping out my bed sheets. Miracle Made sheets are inspired by NASA and use silver-infused fabrics that are temperature regulating, so you can sleep at the perfect temperature all night long. And the infused silver actually helps prevent up to 99.7% of bacterial growth, so it leaves your sheets feeling cleaner and fresher 3 times longer than other sheets. Along with being luxuriously comfortable, they feel nice, if not nicer, than sheets used by some 5-star hotels, without the high price tag of other luxury brands. I live in Florida and our bedroom gets hot. I used to wake up in the middle of the night every night because of that, until I found Miracle Made bed sheets. So gang, it's time to upgrade your sleep. Go to trymiracle.com/SauceStache to upgrade your sheets today. And whether you're buying for yourself or as a gift for a loved one, if you order today, you're gonna save over 40%. And if you use promo code SauceStache at checkout, you're gonna get a free 3-piece towel set and save an extra 20%. Miracle is so confident in their product, it's backed with a 30-day money-back guarantee. So if you aren't 100% satisfied, you'll get a full refund. Upgrade your sleep with Miracle Made. Go to trymiracle.com/SauceStache and use code SauceStache to claim your free 3-piece towel set and save over 40% off. Again, that's trymiracle.com/SauceStache to treat yourself. Thanks to Miracle Made for sponsoring today's video. So we're back. Around week 3, something interesting starts to happen. Your blood sugar actually stabilizes a bit, especially if you're eating them the right way. Even though dates are sweet, their glycemic index is moderate. The fiber actually slows down how fast the sugar hits your bloodstream. If you eat them with a source of protein or fat, like I've been doing here with the peanut butter, you'll get long, steady energy instead of spikes and crashes. Which that steady energy actually translates into better mood, clarity, and focus. You might actually feel less hangry between meals, and because the magnesium and tryptophan support serotonin and melatonin, some people even get better sleep. Plus, the antioxidants in dates can actually protect your heart by reducing LDL oxidation, one of the early steps in artery plaque buildup. So they're not just sweet, they are very functional. So the downsides, there are a few. They're very calorie dense. Eating too many and you can easily add a few hundred extra calories per day. 6 dates is around 400 calories. Once you add that with something like peanut butter or nuts, you're into the 600-700 calorie range. So if your goal is fat loss or maintaining, moderation is key. They can also stick to your teeth, literally, and it feeds bacteria in your mouth. So rinsing with a glass of water or having a drink afterwards definitely helps. And if you suddenly jump from 0 to 3 dates a day, the extra fiber in your diet could add to some bloating and gas. But after 30 days, most people report better digestion and regularity, more consistent energy throughout the day, and less sugar cravings. Dates can actually help retrain your taste buds away from ultra-processed sweets. Some people do claim the improved skin from antioxidants, and other people do claim the sleep and mood benefits. So what were the 3 things that I specifically noticed about eating 3 dates a day? My biggest takeaway: constant energy. I used to get a midday slump that I would typically fill with coffee. What I noticed after week 2 was that my coffee intake was actually slipping. I went from 2 to 3 coffees a day to 1 to 2 coffees a day. It's not because these replace coffee, it's just because it actually removed my midday slump. It removed the need for me to be grabbing that extra coffee. I didn't have any sudden bursts of energy, but I also didn't have any energy loss. So the midday fatigue was pretty gone. A lot of my crashes were gone as well. So that was really nice. The second thing I noticed was becoming incredibly regular throughout this process. I don't want to dive too far into it. I've never really had any problem, but it did become like clockwork. I knew exactly when things were going to happen and pretty much how much. It wasn't necessarily an issue, but in my marathon training, some things did have to be adjusted. And 3, this one was a huge one. Sugar cravings are gone. That part actually happened to me. I just ran the Chicago Marathon. I ran it last week. This training block for the Chicago Marathon, my diet was completely different than my training block earlier this year for the Boston Marathon. During the Boston Marathon training block, my fueling would end almost every day with me having these insane sugar cravings, these incredible sweets cravings. All I wanted to do was eat ice cream, and I did. I ate it almost every single day. I would have ice cream. I was obsessed. And I do think it was because my body was craving the excess sugar. I needed a lot more sugar to get me through those runs. During this training block for Chicago Marathon was during this entire time that I was eating these dates. And this is one of the reasons why I started doing them, was because of the potassium, because of the magnesium, and because of the sugar. But I didn't have that need. I didn't have that feeling, that need for ice cream every day. My fueling was completely different. I actually, during the first few weeks of training for this marathon, I was underfueling. I wasn't eating enough, which was probably caused from me not having the cravings. But once I was able to adjust that and eat more proteins and some better carbs, a lot of that changed, and it was really crazy about how the massive food cravings I had during the Boston training were completely gone, and really the only big change that I made were these guys. These are like candy, so I think that did make a difference. It's kind of like I would have my daily candy fix every day, but without anything processed. So it's like huge win. So bottom line, eating dates every single day for a month or 3 months, whatever, is not going to transform your body overnight. Absolutely not. But I do think over time, you'll notice an improvement in how you feel, how you recover if you work out hard, and maybe even how you sleep. They're kind of like a nutrient-dense energy booster wrapped in caramel. I personally would stick to 2 to 3 a day. I think now that I'm not in marathon training, I'm going to go from 3 to just 2. I'm just going to have 2 dates every day. Eat them with a protein or a fat. Absolutely. I wouldn't eat them on their own. That's going to slow the digestion of the carbohydrates and give you that even energy all day long without any of the big sugar crashes. And if you're training, they might actually become your pre-run fuel. That's what they have for me. They've completely changed how I start my runs. I have 3 of these pretty much right before I go out. So that's it. 3 dates a day, every day for 3 months. What do you think I should do next?